I think it's time. I think it's time to reveal the plan. This has been the plan from the beginning. It's gone through some minor changes. It's been updated as I've learned, as I've had new experiences, but it's been the same basic idea throughout, from the beginning. It's a plan that's achieved a lot of success, but we haven't completely gotten there just yet. We are working on it. And will we ever get there? I don't know. But I think it's time to let you all in on the plan, to let you know what the idea has been from the beginning, where we think we might take it from here if we're lucky, and what the possibilities for the future hold. So yeah, let's get to it. Let's explore the plan. Step 0. Notice the PCGs were dying and no one had played one in years. I was the only one still into paper computer games, and I even wasn't really doing anything with it. Observe that PCGs were basically dead, that if I didn't do anything, PCGs would be just forgotten. Step 0.5, decide to do something about it. PCGs shouldn't die with us. That didn't feel right. It didn't feel right for it to just be forgotten in our childhoods, in our friend group, and just fade into nothingness. Paper computer games have a fundamental appeal. I thought of the few times I'd, played a paper computer game in a group of people and a kid saw that and tried making their own just naturally. Observe that paper computer games, there's something about them, that the reason we like them is not just because they were part of our childhood. They have an appeal. There is something unique about paper computer games. There is something that is going to make them work. They have value. PCGs can survive. They have that power. I believe in them. Step 1. Overcome Chris's suckiness to get him on board. Chris is the creator of paper computer games, and on top of that, he's extremely charismatic. He's funny. He would be a tremendous asset. Get him on board. Now, this step, I feared, could be challenging, because Chris might be too mature for paper computer games or too busy with his other projects. I decided to begin this step by finally play through Balzac Lobotron, a paper computer game he'd started playing like 10 years earlier and had never finished. I framed it as, hey, let's, just finally finish this, get this out of the way, just to, for a sense of closure, just to put a cap on it. This step was achieved when, after beating Balzac Lobotron, Chris made his own new paper computer game for the first time in years, Ghosts. Step 2. Build a YouTube. Observe that the paper games community has had success on YouTube. Create a YouTube channel for paper computer games and get into the habit of filming it every single time you play a paper computer game and putting it up on the YouTube channel. This step was achieved when the PCG YouTube channel launched and began releasing videos. Step 3. Build an audience, at least one viewer. Early videos garnered almost no views on the PCG channel, so find a way to attract the attention of the remaining paper games community. Start by finding which paper games channels were still making videos, following most of the big ones dying out. Make videos that mention paper games, and also comment on videos by paper game channels. This step was achieved with videos like PCGs and Paper Games, What's the Difference? And the PCG News series. And when Salman the Fish PCG became the first regular viewer, binging and commenting on all my videos. Thanks, Salman.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Soup, delicious and nutritious. Soup, the official food of PCG players.
I'm Zach, and I approve this message.
The success of paper computer games can't hinge on my channel alone, so I have to inspire more channels. Observe that Keiko KT had an effect on the paper game community by encouraging and inspiring other channels, commenting on their videos with encouragement. Play a similar role. Encourage others to use PCG characters, ideas, etc. Create, then unify, and strengthen the community. This step was achieved when Radioactive Computer Games became the first PCG YouTube channel besides my own. Man, that's a throwback. Since then, many others have also created their own channels. Step 5. Create a PCG infrastructure. This process was started before any of the other steps when I created the PCG Wiki. That will continue to be important. Encourage newcomers to add to it. Now, PCG infrastructure are websites, places that can be shared by the whole community. Anyone in
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Wiki is now fandom. Other sites for easy PCG interaction besides Discord. PCG official website, Instagram, Facebook. Your program will continue playing shortly.
be shared by the whole community. Anyone in the community can use these sites. And the more infrastructure there is, the more rewarding it'll be for a new person getting into the community. They'll have more to explore and more to do, they'll feel more a part of it. This would be essential. We needed central places where the whole community could come together to share their PCGs with each other, to promote their own games, and so on. I originally tried to fulfill this need by creating a Facebook group for both paper games and PCGs, but that failed since no one uses Facebook anymore. But this step was accomplished when members of the community, on their own, created the PCG Discord, which, as of recording, has about 140 members and is active, sharing memes, playing PCGs, and so on. I became an admin of that group. We also created the PCG Shop, which allows creators to post their own paper computer games there. Step 6, promote and encourage the community. As the community grows, continue to encourage them. Promote their PCGs and videos, whether it's in PCG news, YouTube posts, sharing links in Discord, etc. This step is an ongoing process, but it's currently meeting with success. Step 7, branch out and cross over more with paper games and homemade trading card games. Observe that the paper games and homemade trading card game communities are the places with the most overlap with paper computer games. Cross over with these communities whenever possible. Even try making your own paper game, though with PCG characters. Paper games will initially bring more views, but be careful not to get sucked into becoming just completely a paper game channel. Remember earlier observation about the power of paper computer games, of the appeal of paper computer games. Believe in that. PCGs cannot be forgotten, and that's why we're doing this. This step has been largely achieved. There's now such a high degree of overlap that many consider it to be one big community now. Next, focus on the homemade trading card game community. Incorporate TCGs into PCG news. Make a video on the history of PCGs and TCGs. By the way, that video was filmed on the same day this video was, so it might come out before it or it might come out after it. I don't know, but I have the right look out for that video. So far, all the steps I've been listing have been things that are either in the past, already achieved, or are in progress, are on the road to being achieved, or are just continual processes. But from here on out, we're going to get speculative. We're going to go into the future. We're going to talk about the future plan for the Paper Computer Games franchise.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Due to a filming error, aka Zach's forgot, steps 8 and 9 were not included on this video. Your program will now continue. Thank you.
Step 10. Go viral. As more creators slowly start to pick up PCGs, eventually it'll pick up momentum. If each regular PCG creator inspires one other creator to start themselves, it could start to spread faster. As more and more creators get interested in paper computer games, we'll be ready with a developed infrastructure between the wiki and the shop and the Discord. New creators will post their games to the PCG shop and write about them on the PCG wiki and discuss them on the PCG Discord. On their individual YouTube channels, they'll promote their own PCGs, which will be posted to the PCG shop, and this will make the shop a more popular place to visit, and same for the Discord and the wiki. And this step has not yet been achieved, but it could be. We're already seeing progress towards this and evidence that this basic idea works. It's only a matter of time. If we can keep going like it is now, eventually we'll come to a tipping point and start to pick up speed. Once that happens, it'll be self-sustaining. Even if I stopped putting out videos completely, the process would continue on its own. Step 11. Get big. Following the previous step, the channel would be getting much bigger. I'd start transitioning the channel into being bigger and more professional. Similar to how Chaos Galaxy TCG now professionally prints cards, we'd up the scale of our operation. We'd make more PCGs available in a more professionally printed way. We'd expand merch, we'd publish more books, and so on. Essentially, at this point, PCGs would begin fully turning into a business. Step 12, and this is the most important one. Never lose the community aspect. No matter how big paper computer games get, we can never stop being the informal community we are today. That means no matter how big we get, anyone can still jump on board and make a PCG and they'll be considered canon. It means we'll continue to share our characters, our stories, our ideas within the community. This is and always has been the strongest aspect of paper computer games, the community aspect of it, the fact that it belongs to no one person, it's all of ours. It's a unique strength that no other franchise has. Our community is our team. Contributions from fans will continue to enrich the PCG universe. There will be no such thing as fan fiction because everything you make is all canon. It's all an official part of the franchise. When we get big, this unique strength will make us stand out from other franchises and appeal to a wider audience because people like being part of something when they feel like they're a part of it, when they're contributing to it, when they can tangibly see that they can create a part of it and that becomes a part of the story. Step 13. Movies, TV, video games. When PCGs start getting big, begin expanding into other media. Licensed PCG movies, PCG cartoon series, PCG video games. Community input into their creation. That is, let people from the community include their characters, their ideas, their concepts, no matter how big it is, even if it's a massive big budget movie in theaters. Include concepts from random people in the community as part of the PCG universe. Imagine going to the movies to see a movie that has characters you created in it, alongside Zuvak and others.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Puppies. Cuddly, adorable, soft. Pet a puppy today.
I'm Zach, and I approve this message.
Onward. Franchises will grow out of paper computer games. For example, there could be a Techno Zombies movie series that develops its own fans and followers apart from PCG fans. We could see an explosion of cinematic universes springing out of the PCG multiverse, each one leading to their own spin-offs on TV and video games, comics, and more. We'd be different than the other cinematic universes, though, because none are so deeply entwined with their communities as we would be. This success that we could achieve would mean success for the community as a whole. It's not just me that would get big. I'm taking all of you with me. Everyone who's part of TCGs now will continue to be. Your games will inspire so many future series and spin-offs by other people, future fans who would come to appreciate your work, and they'll be buying merch based on your games and your characters, and you'll be making money off that. If we make it this far into the plan, everyone that's here now is gonna make it big, if they want to. Is this future possible? I think so. At each and every step of this plan, I've doubted whether we could make it to the next step, but every time, so far at least, we did it. And we're still only at the beginning. We're still a tiny community, a small YouTube channel, a small group of YouTube channels, a tiny Discord, but it's only a matter of time, isn't it? If we stick to it, if we keep doing what we're doing, and if new channels keep popping up, I think there's a real chance that, given enough time, I mean, maybe it'll take 5 years, maybe it'll take 10 years, but I do think we can get there. It is possible. If we keep it up, if we keep up what we've been doing, it is only a matter of time. But, let's face the reality of the situation. There is another future that's possible. A future where the plan fizzles out over time. A future where, one by one, we lose interest in PCGs. Maybe I get too busy with work. A future where the PCG community goes the way of the paper games community, the old one. A future where Zuvak, Ginkis, TutorialBot, Poyencio, all of them are forgotten. Already there's some signs of this happening. We've seen creators go silent, drop off the map. Even the ones who are still here, we've seen them decrease how much they put out. My views have only decreased over the past year and a half or so. So, which future is the one that's gonna happen? Well, that's up to us.